Hello guys, welcome to the Trading Parrot. I asked you over the weekend whether you wanted me to do any of these particular coins or to suggest in the comments which ones you want me to do. And by 35.6% we have a winner, that's Ethereum. So here I am, I'm gonna do an in-depth overview on Ethereum. Whether you like it or not, a comeback of Ethereum, a rally definitely should help the whole ecosystem of altcoins. And I'm talking about the sea of red that you see in here. Of course, there are some bullish expectations with certain narratives or even coins that belong to companies based in the US and all of that. But you cannot deny that Ethereum is still a large market cap. I don't know for how long that's gonna stay like that, but as of now, it does still have a big impact. With the liquidity coming back in the macroeconomy, M2 balance sheet that we have extensively covered in videos about Bitcoin and other fundamentals, we can speculate that that could turn eventually into a U-turn where we see flows of capital back into crypto, in which case Ethereum should take a bite of that and eventually have some recover. In this video, we're gonna look into some news around Ethereum. We'll sniff around what people are thinking. We'll look at other technical analysts. What are their actual targets by now? Even some people thinking that XRP is gonna flip Ethereum. I'll give you my take on all of that. And then, of course, we're gonna get into the serious stuff. We'll look into the most important liquidation levels on Ethereum if we were to still have a little bit more downside. What is at the moment really attractive to the market maker if they wanted to capitulate once more Ethereum? Because let's face it, Ethereum has already capitulated. But of course, there's always that potential of general markets having a deeper correction. So we have to keep in mind what is the downside in that scenario. Guys, I'm consistently doing these videos dedicated to a single coin, so you can always look back in time, find my latest video about a coin, or even tell me, it's been a while, you don't do any specific coin, can you do a new video with an update? It keeps things tidy, and you know that in a single video you're gonna find everything about a coin. Let me know in the comments if you like that approach, and if you want me to do any other coin that I haven't done in a while, have a look at my channel. I have done plenty in the past week, so make sure you watch them too. Alright, let's get into the content, and don't forget to give a like if you do like this approach. Ethereum trade idea, 30% potential gain amid market uncertainty. They call it technical analysis, so let's see what the summary says. Ethereum has dropped nearly 50% from December, presenting a potential 30% bounce opportunity based on current levels and historical patterns. Key levels to watch are 2.6, 2.5. I agree with it, 2.5 to the upside, to the downside. We are going to talk about the 1.5 that is really keeping my eye at the moment. The main risk is the equities market, so I agree with this. A relief bounce could trigger a similar reaction in crypto, also benefiting Ethereum. Sure, absolutely. Bitcoin remains dominant, but a short-term bounce in Ethereum BTC could see altcoins gain market share temporarily. And we got this monthly chart in here showing strong support at the moment on Ethereum. We'll see about that. Honestly, I would love to see Ethereum going into that 1500 and within a month just pinch it and come back above 1.8, ideally above 2000. That is going to make things a lot easier for traders and pro investors to think, okay, that's it. On the other side, breaking below 1500 and not being able to even take it back, it's definitely going to be even a bigger bloodbath that it has already been. On the weekly chart, they are comparing the current situation with the beginning of the previous bear market, which is crazy. They are showing us a yellow box in here, and that belongs to 2022. So this technical analyst is thinking, well, every time we have a deeper correction, then we get a dead cat bounce, and that's what they're looking for, a dead cat bounce into the area of $3,000. Very interesting. They are highlighting a trade targeting that $3,000. There's another article, will Bitcoin or Ethereum recover faster from the crash? Here's what technical analyst says. Bitcoin is going to recover faster than Ethereum. So basically it's just subscribe to the current trend and saying that that's going to remain like that. Another one, Ethereum in full retracement, a can't miss opportunity, technical analysis. I think this is just kind of the same as the first article, a little bit more in depth with some additional data on the CBD side, highlighting that there's still too many sells in the market. Remaining funding rates in the positive is seen as something bullish since January 19 that there hasn't been many liquidations. I'm not sure if I like this article actually. Let's go into the next one. Has something interesting, which is a question that you may want to ask yourself as well. You know, I'm not a fan of XRP, but by now I'm not a fan of Ethereum either. Forget Solana. XRP may flip Ethereum first amid 5-year high. XRP price is testing a historically significant resistance level whose breakouts have preceded a minimum of 160% boom versus Ethereum in the past. XRP over Ether, the ratio, the spread chart is showing that it has reached its highest valuation in 5 years over the weekend, extending its recovery. So XRP has rallied 900% over Ethereum, which is crazy. And this is apparently connected with Donald Trump winning the presidential election. They have a very interesting chart here. XRP potential breakout versus ETH. You can see in 2017, XRP breaking out over Ethereum after this consolidation. You see the same in 2017, and then in 2018, similar thing. And here we are in a very similar setup. So they are calling for another breakout now. We'll look into the chart of Ethereum and XRP. I'm actually gonna put it upside down. I'm gonna put Ethereum over XRP and see what I find. I did it already, so I promise you're gonna see some interesting things. Why is Ethereum underperforming XRP? XRP market dominance has grown over 300% since the elections. A key factor of this divergence is regulatory sentiment. Trump has positioned the US as the future world's crypto capital, appointing pro-crypto regulators and pledging to foster a more favorable environment. There is also some developer news on Ethereum that are going to launch a new testnet for Petra upgrade after earlier setbacks. So they've been pushing back on this, but now they are doing it. And they're expecting by May to have a major blockchain update. The idea is to improve the speed, efficiency, and user experience with new smart contract features. So that is something positive for Ethereum to keep in mind, particularly the timing. And here is some bearish news as well. They're calling for a potential additional falling knife, an additional fall. There's a warning of another 30% crash versus Bitcoin coming. They're talking about Ethereum being right at support against BTC, and they show how Solana briefly had more volume than Ethereum, at least in this period in here. You can see how it's been increasing, flipping the volume of Ethereum ecosystem. All right, let's go to the serious stuff. We're gonna start with the naked chart. Just a few lines of support and resistance and some targets. You can see that we are inside this painful channel. It used to be a falling wedge that was bullish. It got broken around the 3rd of February, putting new lows, breaking into the area that months ago I called this is the end. And I call it this is the end because it's a breakdown from this support from 2022, from the bear market. So far we have gone as low as 1700 around that area, but we have the next support at around $1553. That is because around September in 2023 we were around that area. Then we placed a new base also in September around this area before October's tend to be really recovery times for Ethereum, as you can see in this bull market. Where I'm very interested now to pay attention is when I look at the RSI on the weekly. You can see that if we follow this setup around here, this is the setup from March, February 2024. The breakout was around October. You can see that is also a falling wedge, but this time in the RSI. The breakout had the support, and at the moment we have broken down that support, creating a new area of resistance, but this time from the context of having fallen from a dead cat bounce. This area managed to get to 67, whereas this one went to 84. So it was not able to fully develop into the top of the range. Statistics were calling for 80, but it kind of got broken after end of January. Since then, we have had one attempt here that was a failed attempt. You can see we went to 46, so we have to replace the resistance there, and now we are at 35, and to break out we need to go beyond 37. It depends how long it takes. If we go flat, we could break out from 35, so it's kind of a range. After that breakout, we could have a revenge rally into 60. So we got 80, almost 70, and then a 60. This is kind of what we are looking for, a confluence of meeting with the white resistance and meeting with the lost support in the context of a revenge rally. So what is the level that we need to break out? What is our resistance? Let's do then a search for confluence in liquidation levels and other data, and we'll see if it makes sense. We also need to be on the lookout for a potential rejection in here, and if we get a rejection, where is the liquidity lower to potentially have the breakout from a lower range on the other side? That is also a possibility, and we are going to cover that as well when we go to liquidation levels. So let's call it 36 and 60. 36 we say is the level that we need to break out. That level at the moment is more or less $2,000. So in order for Ethereum to call our attention that we may or may not break out on a weekly basis, we at least need to put a candle close beyond $2,000. And considering that right now we are trading at 1916, that is less than $100 away if this was the week where we were to break out. So how are we in terms of longs versus shorts? We are still in the value area. These bubbles in here are areas where in the channel of Ethereum we have found the best entries for longs, whereas the bubbles on the top are the areas where we should have sold. The first selling order is at 2,000 with a drawdown into 1,000, so that's a 50 to 60% drawdown. This one went down 33%, and in these areas we have 1 and 2 tops at the top of the channel of the delta, and that was a $4,000 and a $4,000. And the third time we couldn't get into the top of the channel, but on this trend line in here we were seeing a decreasing interest to get higher. That means that the longs were taking profits earlier compared to the upside channel in here. Every 4,000 was at a lower level of longs. So at the moment we are now in this squeeze. We are defending the support every time that we meet with this line. That is a great area to accumulate, but the same as I say with BNB, this can drop slightly lower to any level in here, and that is an area of value. So watch out for that. We can get there if we go to $1,500. Having said that, this is not a terrible area to accumulate either, assuming that we are not necessarily entering into a bear market. Remember that some articles are kind of assuming we are entering in an area that is just bear market. Dead cat bounce to 3,000 and then a drop possibly below $1,000 if it follows the same outcome of 2022 as they were showing. The bullish scenario is that we hold this level and we go once again to the top of 87 of longs. We'll see about that because we need to break out of 60 as well in the delta. So the 2000 is resistance weekly. Support is 1550. That is from here. A breakout from $2,000 can give us either a rally to test the lost support at 27. If we come back inside the symmetrical triangle, then we can be talking about the top resistance, which now is at 3,600. So take note of those numbers. I have them in my mind, and I will look now into liquidation levels. All right, do we have anything at 1,500? Absolutely. So if we were to meet that support, you can tell that there is some liquidations from 17 to 1686. That those were created the last bounce that we have, the most recent low of Ethereum. These ones in red are from way before. They're located from 1,500 into 1441. And that's pretty much about it, because after that we have 1,300 and then a very sharp decline in liquidation levels, as you can see on the right hand side of the chart. Let's go on CoinGlass and we get a confluence. First the 1750 and then the 1500 that we were talking about. So those two levels are important, but there is a discrepancy here on the 1 month on Ethereum because it's showing the 17 as a larger one than the 15, but on Trading Different, that is upside down. 15 is higher. And that is a consequence that both of these charts are capturing data with a different time box. This one is 1 month, but we can go to 3 months and see if that changes. Not really. Maybe we need to go way beyond to the 1 year. I don't see much. But by the way, looking at the 1 year, that's showing the 1400. Speaking of which, we need to look at the levels to the upside as well. And you can tell that if we overlap the 1500 to anything that is above us, you can see that the motivation to go to that 1500 at the moment on the 4 hour on longer term is larger than to go to 2000 to 2200, 26. So just from the point of view of liquidations, market maker to decide to go to the upside is going to have to decide, can we go up leaving this heaviness underneath the carpet, or should we just clear out the 1500 before we head back up? And I guess that is kind of the $1 million question at the moment. Even 3000 is less than 15 in terms of liquidation levels. And the first time that we get something larger than 1500 is if we go all the way to $4,000. If we get to 4200, then it makes the 1500 look like nothing. But that means that price needs to go 2.2k up to capture that, whereas the 1500 is only $400 below the price. So if this is just a matter of statistics, mathematics, probabilities, stochastic, whatever you want, I will say that 1500 seems to be a low-hanging fruit at the moment. And we could call it an easy capitulation. Do I count on it 100%? Am I gonna wait for that level to do something? I think patience is key, but if you don't want to miss a rally, if you're bullish on Ethereum for some reason, remember that there has been multiple times that we leave things on the table that do not make sense. So always leave that 1 to 5% chances that we don't take that 1500. What I wouldn't do though is to enter a long in here with an isolated position and leverage that puts my risk right there, because that will be extremely stupid. Past 30 days on Ethereum liquidation levels, you can see that there is upside and downside. Everything is very crowded and very similar levels. There is no clear winner here, not an obvious one. There is motivation to go to 2000 as there is to go to 1800. That's 30 days though. This is more for scalping context, whereas the other heat maps with over 30 days and up to a year of data gives you context for swing trades that can take up to weeks to play out. So should we do a summary? I think that Ethereum eventually is gonna get above the $4,000 within the context of 1 year, even if it's gonna fail as a narrative or anything with such a large market cap. Eventually it's going to have a revenge rally and it's going to liquidate the excessive amount of shorts. Even if the fundamentals are crap, all these shorts accumulated are just going to make it a great move for market maker to go after them. So my play at the moment is to continue holding my painful bags of Ethereum, and then if later in the cycle we read at the news and people are saying that Ethereum is the best thing ever, then we sell into them as we did with Solana, XRP and other coins where I did the right move. On Ethereum, on the third top, I got cocky and I didn't sell at 4,000. I still have pain in my cheek after slapping myself so many times from those days. And if you didn't, you should do the same as well. Guys, if you want to trade on a competition, I've got this particular prize pool of $5,000 on Bluffing. If you join me on this trading competition, there's still 9 days to register to win part of the prize pool. This is a non-KYC exchange, so it's gonna be really easy to just find the top link in the description, open it, click register now, and you're part of it. If you prefer a different non-KYC exchange, I also have a link to BitUnix that gives bonuses to people with any size of deposits from $100. And if you want to go for a larger exchange, OKX is a great alternative, giving up to 60,000 in rewards based on trading volume and size of the deposit. Remember that this week we're gonna do a private private TA session so far with 5 people that have signed up. So it's gonna be very cozy, and they are gonna get super spoiled, asking me all the questions they want for 1 hour. If you want to join this session on Thursday, you can join my Patreon. We're gonna be doing these sessions every Thursday. Even if you cannot assist live, you can still pick 5 coins, and then we review the coins in priority order. You can use the session as well as a Q&A. It doesn't necessarily need to be any specific coin. If you want to learn something, I'm happy to answer as many questions as we can squeeze in a small group on this live session. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Hit the like, subscribe, comment down below. Bye bye.